Yo, my people, Unruly Gooner here, back with a match reaction after the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel and to follow on the Instagram too. Yeah, game's done, 3-0 defeat to Liverpool, and it was shocking, man. More so the performance than the result. Obviously, we spoke in a preview about the result and the points, and not really meaning much because of the league's done, and that's not really our main focus. But it was all about momentum. It was all about coming back after the break and kind of continuing where we left off prior to the break with a little bit of momentum, trying to go into this Europa League game, which is our big game. That's our cup final. Getting into that with a bit of momentum behind us and a bit of confidence in it, getting into that game. But yeah, where to start from this game, man? It was proper mediocre. No, it was gutless. It was no desire, no passion. It was just a proper spineless performance, man. And I said to one of my Liverpool friends, it showed that we've got a bit of an inferior complex to you guys. Yeah, we don't turn up against Liverpool all the time, man. We showed them a bit too much respect in how we play. I wasn't happy with the manner of how we played in terms of our approach to the game. We didn't play our normal game, like even down to playing out from the back, how we've been playing, how we've been kind of living and dying by that. All to the point where we've been making mistakes, giving away goals, playing like that. But we wasn't playing like that yesterday. Yesterday, every time Leno got the ball, every time it was a goal kick, we was just going long, playing more of a percentages game, and that's not how we play. And that kind of suited Liverpool's down to the ground, because they knew that if they started high, like they're going to press us from the back, and then we didn't play from the back, they went long, that they would just win the second balls. And that happened, the whole of the first half that happened. Second half we tried to play out the back a little bit, but even then we come unstuck. But I don't know, like I was kind of baffled by that approach, because Arteta's been saying that that's the way that he wants to play, and that's the courage that he wants the players to show, getting on the ball, playing out from the back. But we wasn't doing that, and it isn't like Liverpool have been like that Liverpool of old, where their pressing game's been on point and you can't live with them. Like, it wasn't even that. So I was quite surprised by that, man, and that just led to them in the first half just pinning us literally in our half for the whole first half. We couldn't get out. I think we had a little 2-minute spell in the beginning of the game where we was around their box. Other than that, they were just all over us, and we were lucky to even stay in the game at 0-0. Even though they didn't have any clear-cut chances really, apart from the Milner one. Other than that, there was no clear-cut ones. Lennon didn't have to make any big saves or anything, but it was just the sustained pressure. And yeah, we're not a team that can just sit there and be super resilient and hold out. So the goal was always going to come, and yeah. And it just wasn't great, man. And the fact that we're playing that kind of style with no real outball, no real outlet up front, because we couldn't just relieve pressure by just playing the ball over the top and letting Lacazette stretch them and run onto it, because that's not his style of play, and he wasn't really holding the ball up great yesterday either. And it was just, yeah, it was proper. It was just a lackluster performance, man, and it all kind of stems down to work rate and application and effort, mentality, and all these words were not there yesterday. Especially in our front line, Pepe, Aubameyang, and Laka. I wouldn't really say Odegaard, because he couldn't really get into the game, and he actually was the only one that was really trying to press, trying to close down the ball and trying to start a press going. But other than that, there was no real work rate off the ball, and then when we got the ball, there was no quality on it. We was just giving it back to them as well. So it just goes to show, man, like when you take certain players out of our team, i.e. Smith Rowe, Saka, even Xhaka in the midfield, David Luiz, who's a leader at the back and organises and stuff, and can start attacks from the back as well from a deep line position. It shows that there's a massive drop, and in terms of the freshness with Smith Rowe and Saka, there's that energy gets lost, and they would normally be the ones that would be starting the press and getting on the ball, working harder off the ball, because Pepe and Aubameyang weren't doing anything. They were literally just, sometimes they weren't even tracking their runners. They were just not really putting themselves about, and it it went back to the Arsenal of earlier on in the season, where it was a team that you didn't really get excited to watch. It wasn't really enjoyable to watch, and it was a team that was just sluggish and just like they were just going through the motions and almost like, and it was a poor performance, man, and it kind of took me back to earlier on in the season. And I thought I thought we'd turn a corner. I thought we'd passed that. I thought we were on an upward trend, like getting a bit better and progressing. But yeah, no, yesterday just kind of it was a big reality check, and it showed. But there were some really really poor performances, standout poor performances as well yesterday, man. I wasn't happy with Holding. I think he showed why he got dropped and why he hasn't been playing for a little while. I was surprised that Mari didn't come in back ahead of him, because Mari has been playing more recently than Holding. But Holding come in yesterday and yeah, he just looked sloppy. He looked like someone that hasn't played for ages, making casual mistakes and not winning these duels. He looked like a easy target for them to go at, even though he wasn't bad on his own. Him and Gabriel were both poor and at fault for probably all of our goals come through them. Ultimately, so the first goal, Holding should not be getting beat in the air by Jota. Obviously, it's a good cross from Trent. Good cross from Trent, but he's given the time. He's been given the time to pick out the ball. Abba didn't close down the cross initially. Trent's actually run offside. Yeah, Abba hasn't seen him run offside, and then he's come back onside. I think Salah's given him the ball, and then he's whipped in the ball, but Aubameyang could have got out to him, maybe got his foot on to block the cross, or done something to put him off, but he just gave him an easy cross to pick out Jota in the box, who had a free header because Holding's in the box. He's got one man to mark, and he's not doing his job. Jota's the only one that can get his head on the ball and score that header, because he's the only Liverpool player in the box that Trent's got to aim for. Holding always has, if he's touched out marking him, Jota doesn't have an easy free header. Like, yeah, if he beats Holding in the air and he has a great leap, then you hold your hands up, say, you know what, he's out jumped me. It was a great header, and you know what, yeah, you hold your hands up. But it wasn't that at all. He's just giving him the license to have a free header, and yeah, like Leno maybe could have done a bit better, but ultimately it's so close to the goal. It's a powerful header, so I can't expect Leno to save that. So normally when you get that kind of connection with the header in so close to the goal, you expect to score in it. So yeah, Jota's got his goal, but that was poor from Holding. Got caught under the ball when he should be tighter to his man. He should be able to be able to feel his man and see the ball coming in, and then Jota doesn't get a free header like that. So poor from Holding. Next goal as well. It was a little ball around the corner from Fabinho over the top, and Gabriel. Again, it's poor from him as well. Rather than sliding and clearing the ball, kicking it out of touch, he tried to slide and keep it in, and that's what allowed Salah to actually run and kind of. It was a bit scrappy, and it ended up with Salah having the ball at his feet. And then obviously that was the first phase. The next phase, he's chasing back Salah now towards the goal. Salah's he's got goal side of him, so if Gabriel fouls him, then it'll be a penalty. So probably rightly so, he didn't make a challenge. And then at the final phase, Leno's come out, and Salah's just slid it through his legs, and it was just a simple, poor finish, bro. It's a good finish from Salah, but Leno should be saving that. He's just kicked it straight at him. Like if he's positioned himself properly as a goalie, made himself a bit bigger, a bit harder to beat, then he doesn't just roll it through his legs from that tight angle. That's the only place he's got to aim for with his right foot, and he just put it through your legs. So it was a poor goal, but ultimately that was Gabriel's fault. Poor decision making. He should have just kicked the ball out when he went to slide it and kick it out for a throw in, and then let us reset and go again. But yeah, so that was bad. And then the last goal was this a poor clip into the channel from Gabriel as well. I don't know who he was trying to pick out. It was a nothing ball, because he played it in between Cedric and the left winger, who probably was Aubameyang at the time. And he played it in between both of them. And Trent just ran onto it, and he got there first, gave it to Salah. He passed it into Mane, who was trying to pin the defender, got a bad touch, and then he was there. It was a bit scrappy, and then Jota's just kicked it into the goal. So it was just poor goals, man. All the goals that they scored, we kind of gave to them. We played our part in their goals. It wasn't like they open us up and they're through 1-on-1 and they just slotted it in, or a bit of individual brilliance and they've banged in the goal. It wasn't that at all. Even though they were outplaying us, I'm not saying that we were getting outplayed. They were definitely outplaying us, and they definitely did deserve their goals. But their goals were very, very handed to them on a plate. It was very simple. Like, we made it easy for them, and that was kind of the story of the game, man. We made everything easy for them because we weren't winning the first ball. We didn't have the quality to hold on to the ball, and then we wasn't winning the second balls. And then every individual battle around the pitch, I can't see any player come out on top of their individual battle. The man that they were up against was superior to them in every way, and that was it. That was it. Another bad performance was Dani Ceballos. I thought Ceballos was shocking today. And he has been recently. He's been making mistakes, casual mistakes in Europa League, which have led to goals and stuff. He's been very, very bad, and I don't really want to see him back in the starting lineup. I know he's one of the options that we've got in midfield, and our midfield is very poor at the minute. It's not the best part of our team. And that's meant to be the cog of your team, and we don't have people in there that have the ability to get on the ball and dominate the game. Partey, he hasn't been great either recently. I feel like that's more so down to the partner he's playing with. I feel like he's having to overcompensate for his game because he's playing with people that aren't as good as him next to him, i.e. El Neni, Xhaka or Ceballos. He's gone away from doing the basics that he done very well, and he's getting into bad habits. Because if you remember Partey at Atletico, he was very disciplined, very he played like a holding midfielder, but he was very disciplined in how he played, and in that system that Atletico had, he was very, very solid. He used to just get the ball, lend it, but he also had the ability to play to hold on to the ball in tight areas and get out of tight positions and little sticky situations. He can get out because he's got good feet, but his game was just to get it, lend it. But he had other ball players around him like Niguez or Koke that could actually play with him. But at here, so he didn't have to do the hard 30-yard ball or the mad outside or the boot ball. Like, he didn't have to do that. He just get it and lend it. Simple. That's it. Here now, because he's playing with Xhaka and Ceballos, he's having to do more because the players next to him aren't good enough. They're not. He doesn't trust it that he can give them the ball and that he'll get it back or that they're going to keep it. So he feels like he has to do more. And when him trying to do more is making him look average now, because now he's giving the ball away because he's overcomplicating his game. Not that he hasn't got it in his locker, but that's not his game. But he has to be doing that because of his partner next to him. So again, it was a very indifferent kind of poor performance from Partey yesterday as well, man. In the midfield, which I thought that he could do well against. I don't know if Thiago's been very great, and I thought his athleticism and his physicality would be able to dominate Thiago. Milner's not, Milner's coming to the end of his career, so I thought Partey would be able to shine in that midfield. But I thought Fabinho was the standout player in the midfield and kind of bossed it for them yesterday. So just not poor performances. Obviously, Aubameyang again up to his old tricks. But people don't like to address that. People don't like to have that conversation about Aubameyang. So he'll keep playing. He'll keep playing because he's the captain and he'll score a goal. Everyone will forget about his performances. But again, he's poor. That's 2 in a row now. West Ham, he was absolutely abysmal, and yesterday he was abysmal. But because he's the captain, because he's Aubameyang, if everyone's gonna forget about it. So it's just poor, man. You saw and. It was so bait when, like, what was missing from him when Martinelli come on with that energy, that intensity, and literally within about 30 seconds of being on the pitch, he was pressing people and he nearly pressed them into making a mistake where he nearly got a chance, and that's without him doing any mad kind of tricks or showing his mad ability. That's just him applying himself and pressing and forcing them into mistakes, and that's just a mindset. That's a mentality. Aubameyang's not doing that. He's not doing that, and Pepe weren't doing it either. So I really want to see some changes on Thursday, man. Thursday is obviously, like I said, Thursday is a bigger game for us. That's the important game. I just hope that there's a reaction from these players. So I hope that Arteta really gets into them, really digs out a lot of them, and really asks them a lot of questions and lets them know that they're playing for their futures, man. And I hope there is a reaction on Thursday, because if you turn up against Slavia Prague like that, then we don't stand no chance in Europa League. Even though Liverpool are a much better team than Slavia Prague, but we still need to turn up, because you you have to earn the right to play, man. And yesterday, nah, it wasn't. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. You won't win nothing with that kind of mentality. 100%. I hope we got some players back from injury to freshen up the team on Thursday as well, because I want to see some changes. Yeah, I think the worst thing that come out of yesterday, obviously the 3 points and a loss, but again, that wasn't important. The worst thing that came out yesterday was Tierney getting injured. I hope it's not a long-term injury, because he's a key player for us, and we need him back for Thursday and going forward as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, on to Thursday it is, man. Nothing much more to say about this game. Peace, people.